long time, but I'm trying to get back in the groove of things. My children have encouraged me to get back into the groove, and so have you guys with all these views I've had with my last cake. So today I decided that I was going to show you one of my favorite cakes. It is a carrot cake, and I'm gonna make it with nuts, but if you don't like nuts, just know that you do not have to add nuts. So first we're going to begin with shredding our carrots. The first thing I do is, of course, wash the carrot off. And then this peeler right here is a Cutco peeler. It peels like butter. It's my favorite peeler. And so I just, I have a little trash pile that I put all in one when I'm baking. That makes it easier in my kitchen so that I don't have to keep going back and forth, back and forth. So I put it all in one bowl and then I put it in the trash. I saw a couple fly out the bowl. I'll put them back in there. And then I take my little handy dandy Pamper Chef knife and I cut it up. And I take my excess pieces and I throw it in there. And as you can see, I had pre-shredded some of them, so it wouldn't be a long time, but you gotta get about a good 3 to 4 cups of carrots. For me, I'm doubling the recipe because I'm making a big cake and some cupcakes on the side too. But before I cut it on, I wanted to say, I half mine up, so I'll use some already cooked carrots as well as the shredded carrots. You don't have to. You can do the whole 3 to 4 cups shredded, but I just like the extra smoothness of it, and it keeps it moist as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this on and shred this up, and I'll be back. Hey, I'm back. This food processor by Hamilton Beach is awesome. So it has the shredded side and it has the sliced side, and it's written on there so I know what to do. So I've already shredded my carrots, and I'm just gonna let you see what they look like. They're nice and fine, and they're shredded, and they're still moist. And so I'm going to take these carrots and I'm going to go ahead and start my concoction and move this over. Not necessarily a concoction. Start my mix by adding all these carrots inside my bowl. As you can see, that's a lot of carrots, you guys. That's a good cake. That's a good carrot cake right there. But to make it taste even better and more moist, I'm taking the time, like I said, to add some smashed cooked carrots. I'll say about a cup of smashed cooked carrots. And then I'm gonna add some crushed pineapples. Don't get it in syrup, get it without syrup, but some crushed pineapples inside of it as well, about a cup. And if you're wondering and worrying, I'm gonna do better than I did last time. I'm actually gonna leave the recipe for you guys so that you'll be able to jot down all the ingredients I've added. So we've added our shredded, we've added our cooked, and we added our pineapples so far. Then I'm gonna take a couple of spices. This is our salt, our baking soda, our cinnamon, nutmeg, and ginger, and I'm going to dump that in. Okay, tap that. Just mix it all around. And then I'm going to add my brown sugar. This is a cute little tool from Pamper Chef as well. And my white sugar. Now, my mixer's gonna mix this all up, but me personally, I just like to make sure everything is incorporated. Even after the mixer mixes it, I'll probably stir it again. A little bit of old-fashioned in me. My aunt used to have me mixing, my Aunt Beulah used to have me mixing her cakes for her when I was a teenager, so that's where I get that from. So now I'm going to add 4 eggs, but your recipe will probably tell you to add 2. Because you're going to be making less than I am. So I'll incorporate the eggs. my vegetable oil. If you prefer, you can use butter instead of vegetable oil. Same measurements. See how simple this is? Just mixing it a little bit, not a lot. Just getting it all incorporated. See, my eggs are still whole. I'm just putting it all together because I'm actually going to let the mixer do its job. It might seem like I'm doing a little extra, but for me, I love a light and fluffy cake. And then I'm going to add my flour. I got one of them in. I like to make sure it's nice and level, nice and loose, not packed down. And my vanilla. Now this is where my handy dandy mixer comes in. This thing is heavy. Make sure I'm touching it correctly. Okay. There we go. We're going to lift this up. We're going to start stirring. We don't have to put it on high. We just want to incorporate it. Want to keep it light and fluffy because we're actually going to finish the mix with our hands at the very end because we want to add our nuts and our raisins. It looks really good. Okay, so let me stop that, and I'm going to put this down so you can see. This looks beautiful. This looks really good. You see that? Oh my goodness, yummy. It smells delicious. I wish you can smell through the screen. I always say that. So when you're using a mixer, this is why I mix it by hand, your shredded carrot gets caught up in the mix. Okay, so again, I'm stirring, and then I'm going to add my raisins. Get it all. And some people add walnuts, some don't like nuts. I'm a pecan girl. Yes, I said pecan. Some people say pecan, some people say pecan. I say pecan. So I'm adding my pecans in. 2 more raisins, there we go. And then I am doing the final stir. The final stir will incorporate everything from top to the bottom. Just stir around maybe. And you see, we didn't beat it to death. We still want it to be fluffy cake. But that looks so good, you guys. And so I have already greased and floured 3 pans, and I'm going to make a 3-layer cake. I believe the recipe that I have for you guys is going to be a 2-layer cake, so don't get excited unless you want to double up your recipe. And it's really simple to double up the recipe. So I'm going to fill it about 3/4 of the way. Scrape all of this out. Try and get all of it. That first one I gave a lot to. It's okay. There'll be even layers when I'm done with it. And we are going to put these in the oven about 325, 350. And I will see you guys in about 30 to 45 minutes, and I'll show you guys how to ice it, make your cream cheese icing. Not buttercream, cream cheese, which goes perfect with a carrot cake. See you in a bit. Our cakes are done. They are sitting on the cooling rack. They're nice and brown. You see how it's a little bit golden because of that good old brown sugar. Now, everybody doesn't have a cooling rack, and at one point in time I didn't either. So if you don't have a cooling rack, put you some parchment paper or wax paper out on the table. Wait for your pan to cool off. And once it's cooled, then you just flip your cake on top of it, and it can finish its cooling process on that. So now that my cakes are cooled, I'm going to take the time to make the cream cheese icing. So the first thing I do is I put in a whole block of cream cheese. That whole block is about 8 ounces, okay? Then I'm going to, I don't have my little trash can. Then I'm going to take 2 sticks of butter. And I'm just going to cream that all together. Let's see, put that to the side. Now you do need this to make some good cream cheese icing. So I'm gonna start on stir. And so you're gonna continue mixing it and whipping it until it is nice and smooth, nice and creamy. Let me go ahead and show you how creamy this looks, you guys. See, the butter and the cream cheese has clumped and mixed together, so you can't even tell the difference between either one of them. And so the next thing I'm going to add is I'm going to lift this back up first. And I'm going to put it back on stir, and I'm going to add powdered sugar. And keep adding the powdered sugar till it incorporates with the butter and the cream cheese. I made a little mess, but that's okay. In the meanwhile, I'm going to add some vanilla. Oh, I forgot to bring my vanilla, so hold on. Since I forgot my vanilla, I'm going to go ahead and measure it out of my lovely Pampered Chef set of measuring spoons. And it's starting to get really, really smooth, so I'm going to add a couple more cups of powdered sugar. No, this is not the flour. We have cleaned up and we use the same bowl for our powdered sugar. It can trick you, so be careful when you're baking. We're going to turn it from stir, then to 2, and then we're going to give it a good blast of a whip. And I'm telling you, this icing looks delicious. Hold on, let me let you see. We made icing, y'all. Got my little country accent. We made icing, y'all. So I'm going to take my spatula and I'm going to scrape it off of this spatula. Here, I didn't bring my dump bowl this time, so now I feel like you feel in the kitchen. Where do I put it? So I'm going to scrape all that off. And I am going to, I'll actually leave a little bit on this spatula. I actually take that little bit and I put on my board. If you're not using a board, you just put it on the plate. There's no need in putting it in the bottom. But I will take one of my cakes and I will lay it on that so that if somebody was collecting this cake, that will help it stick to the board. Okay? Just a little tip, just in case. And then I will, look at that icing, y'all. Good stuff. Don't want to put too much. You don't want to overdo it, but yummy. You got to have a good balance. And I just spread that around. Now, some people put nuts in between. I don't. It's just a good icing and cake. Let me get this out of the way. And then that last cake, which is the top cake, just so it can look balanced and even, I'll flip it upside down. And if it's something coming out the side, that's okay, because we're going to make it all come back all around the cake. So then this last piece, I'm going to flip upside down so it can be a smooth top. I like smooth tops. Some people like theirs rounded. I like everything nice and smooth, nice and even, so I can make it pretty later on. And so you cannot get your icing to come on this smooth if your cake is too hot. Please, as good as it smells, wait patiently for your cake, or else everything, because this is cream cheese, everything will melt. That's just something you have to know. If you don't wait, I wanted to go ahead and icing it, and my son was like, be patient, Mom. He was like, be patient. I was like, but it smells so good. So I'm going to do like a naked, oh no, I'll do the whole cake. A naked cake would be just icing on the top, and you see some of the sides, but I'll do it all the way around. And then we'll decorate it a little bit, put some nuts and cinnamon on it. I'll be back to show you the final product in a minute. All right, I'm back, almost done. I decided to give it a little naked look. I'm sprinkling some cinnamon on top. Nice and jazzy. And I actually, sometimes you make mistakes. I actually made a mistake back here. If it's just for us, it's fine. If it's for someone else, I would just wipe that board off. That cinnamon that got on the board. That's all. Not a problem at all, but it's really more for us. So, I want you guys to be able to see the inside. If my assistant will go ahead and give me a little paper plate. As they're getting the paper plate, I'm going to cut a slice of this yummy cake. And we're done. We actually have a yummy slice of carrot cake out of the cake that we made. 3-layered, nice, thick, yummy. This recipe actually is inside my cookbook, but I'm going to leave the ingredients for the carrot cake and the cream cheese icing. If you enjoyed my video, make sure you like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bottom notification bell so that when I have a video, it'll notify you when you know. Also, one more thing. Today, one of my friends, wonderful cook, passed away, and it was my encouragement to continue to keep going. So I want to dedicate this video to my friend, my mentor,